My name's Ian Powell. I'm a community ministries worker with the Salvation Army here. I got addicted to drugs at a very young age. It kind of started out being homeless here on the street in Edmonton. 6 years ago is when I became homeless, and I was homeless pretty much for 3 or 4 years after that. My story kind of started with my childhood. I had a lot of trauma in my childhood and stuff like that. To cope with the stuff that was going on, I started using narcotics, I started drinking, and I started doing crime. It wasn't until I was arrested here in Edmonton about 2.5, 3 years ago that things actually began to change. The Salvation Army it was always there. I stayed at the homeless shelter downtown through the Salvation Army. It was $13 a day. I stayed there frequently. When I was no longer allowed to stay there, I would kind of bounce from shelter to shelter, or I would find places to sleep on the street. When I hit my lowest of lows, I started kind of cold calling different organizations, different resources, different help centers and stuff like that. And I didn't really get a whole lot of help until I reached a gentleman named John with the Salvation Army. He talked with me for about 2.5 hours one day, kind of talking me off the edge. I was at my wit's end. I didn't know where to go. He listened to me, he provided me with some resources. I did stabilization for 2 weeks, and then I got entered into sober living. It was a place called Robson House through Recovery Acres here in the city. I was only supposed to be there for, I think, a month or two, till a bed opened up at a treatment center in Drumheller. By the grace of God, I started going to the Salvation Army there. I remember the first time I walked in, they didn't look at me like I was damaged. They didn't look at me like I was an addict and stuff like that. They just kind of met me where I was, and that really meant a lot to me. And any chance I got to go and volunteer there or spend time there, I took advantage of it. The sharing pantries, anything I could get involved with here, I was getting involved with. I became an adherent probably 1.5 years ago. I became a soldier December 5th. Now I'm working towards potentially becoming an officer one day. The rock bottom I hit here, I didn't think there'd ever be a way out. I thought I was gonna die on the street, but I kept praying and I kept trusting in God, and God kept leading me here. And now today, as a community ministries worker, we run the Pathways of Hope program here. And now I get to work with men in my previous situation and help them come to God, help them find safety, find health, find happiness. And with the Pathways program, I get to build relationships with people. It's just a phenomenal experience. And being able to journey with other men, helping them find their path that God has laid out before them, has been extremely rewarding. My sober date is July 4th. In a short amount of time, I've been able to completely turn my life around. I completed my housing programs. I'm employed full-time. The Salvation Army has been a huge part of that. Being humble, being teachable has allowed me to essentially become the man I am today.